This tomato plant looks completely dead, but in just 30 days, it produced more fruit than any other plant in the entire garden. Now before you click away thinking this is just another gardening fairy tale, let me tell you something that will blow your botanical mind. What you're about to discover goes against everything most gardeners believe about plant care. And I'm talking about a technique so counterintuitive, so seemingly wrong, that when I first heard about it I thought someone was pulling my leg. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't some ancient gardening secret or mystical plant whispering. This is pure, beautiful science, and by the end of this video you're going to understand exactly why sometimes the best thing you can do for a tomato plant is to make it think it's dying. Comment below, and let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing our global community of garden scientists. And if you're ready to revolutionize your tomato game, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Here's what's happening at the cellular level, and trust me, it's more fascinating than any thriller you've ever watched. When a tomato plant experiences what scientists call controlled stress, and I emphasize controlled, it triggers an ancient survival mechanism that's been hardwired into these plants for millions of years. You see, tomatoes are originally from the harsh mountainous regions of South America. These aren't pampered greenhouse babies, they're survivors. When a tomato plant senses danger, when it thinks its life is on the line, it does something absolutely remarkable. It shifts every ounce of its energy from growing pretty green leaves to one single desperate mission: reproduction. And what is reproduction for a tomato plant? Fruit production. Lots and lots of fruit production. Now I know what you're thinking, but won't stressing my plant kill it? And that's exactly the right question to ask, because there's a razor-thin line between beneficial stress and plant murder, and I'm about to show you exactly how to walk that line like a tightrope artist. The technique is called deficit irrigation, and it's been used by commercial tomato growers for decades. But here's the kicker. Most home gardeners have never heard of it because it goes against our nurturing instincts. Here's how it works. Once your tomato plants start flowering, you deliberately reduce their water supply by about 30 to 40%. Not enough to kill them, but just enough to make them think, oh no, drought season is coming, I better make babies fast. The result? Your plants will produce smaller, more concentrated fruit with incredible flavor intensity. We're talking about tomatoes so packed with sugars and acids that they'll make store-bought tomatoes taste like cardboard in comparison. But timing is everything. Start too early, and you'll stunt the plant's growth permanently. Start too late, and you'll miss the critical flowering window. The sweet spot is right when you see those first yellow flowers appearing on your plants. If this is blowing your mind, smash that like button and let me know in the comments, are you brave enough to try this with your tomatoes this season? Here's your Mkirikacha TV take-home message. Sometimes the greatest growth comes from the greatest challenges. Just like that seemingly dead tomato plant that produced more fruit than any other, we too can turn our struggles into our greatest strengths. In gardening, as in life, a little strategic stress can push us to achieve things we never thought possible. The key is knowing the difference between beneficial challenge and destructive pressure. So go out there, apply some controlled stress to your tomatoes, and remember, what doesn't kill your plants might just make them incredibly productive. Don't forget to subscribe for more garden science that actually works, and I'll see you in the next one.